Hello everyone. So today we're going to take a look at an idea from one of our subscribers. So they subscribed, or they they suggested Havoc Raptors. So that's what we're going to do. So I had an idea of actually making myself some Chaos Havocs, but let's just turn them into Chaos Havoc Raptors, why not? So we have a miniature we have here from the sci-fi crate that we got a while back. We just snipped the wings off this, and we're going to use him as our leading commander guy in this Havoc squad. So this is basically the principle of where we're going to stick him, just a general idea. And then I have a bunch of old school Space Marine, the equivalent to Havoc kind of guys for Chaos, but in Space Marines, just old school models, and we're going to use some bits of them and also some more heavy weapons that we got just to bash together and make our own kind of Mod Podge Havoc Raptor squad. So thank you once again to our subscriber for giving us the idea, and I will be doing more projects on more ideas from the subscribers. Just leave your comments below and any ideas, and I will eventually get to them later down the line. So here I'm just showing you a quick way of making the backpacks, the jetpack things. So you can use plenty of different materials for this, but today we're going to use some leftover sprue. So we're going to snip off some sprue, and then we're just shaving it to take off the rough edges. Now you see I do two different ways here. So the first way is more precise. Basically, you can work on each individual module, shall I say, or booster individually. It's just shaving down each corner and making sure it's symmetrical. But then the second way you see is where we just stick two of the same pieces, like two bits of sprue together via the flat bit that they have on the sprue. So everyone knows, or a lot of people would know, that sprues are kind of angled inwards or angled tapered to one end. So if you just cut equal lengths, put them flat bit to flat bit, and then just glue the flat sides down. Hope this all makes sense. And then you can then shape it by filing, sanding, taking bits off with your hobbycraft knife. So there's two different ways you can actually make these. The second way I prefer because you get similarity, symmetricalness, if that's a thing. So everything tends to be more seamless, whereas the first way you have to be much more precise. And this is KitbashCarnage here. We're not really that precise on this channel, so depending on how good you think your hobbycraft and knife skills are and how precise you can be, will vary which technique you want to use. So starting off with this model here, we're going to try and just take off the logo, just scoring it off with our hobby knife, or you can use some sandpaper or nail files. That's what I use here. So if you don't know, you can buy cheap nail files just from online or just from a little corner shop, like a little pound shop or dollar shop or whatever your currency is. And then you just cut these nail files into the sizes you need. Why buy all these specific branded premium files for hobbycrafting when you can use certain materials and things lying around for the exact same purpose? So using our trusty old bits boxes just to keep stuff organized again, we're grabbing out some, I think they're corn helmets. And we're going to use these as part of our, just banging the camera there again. Also, I've rearranged my whole hobby layout, so let me know how you like this camera setup. I've noticed during filming this that I tend to be more off screen, but that now I can work on. I just have to put my hands more forward, and when I'm zooming in, I just need to bring the piece back up closer to the camera. So hopefully the next video that comes out is much more better, just better than this one anyway. And me speaking still hasn't got any better. But back to stop rambling and back to the video. You can see here we're just scoring these pieces just to give the symmetricalness, the similarity basically, and then using our nail file just moving the piece in a circular motion. So you don't want to be filing this at an angle for a long period of time. You want to be rotating the piece in your hand while you're filing, and that will create like a tip, like a point. It will make all of the sprue kind of look like it's one piece. The little bits of flashing will go into the cracks and their seams, and it just tends to work out much better filing in a rotisserie kind of manner rather than just flat angles. So we were just cutting off a little bit there. As you've seen, it was one of the pieces of the jetpack was a little bit longer than the other. So we're just snipping that off and then refiling it to shape, making sure they're somewhat similar to one another. Now later down the line, we will, after we just put these together, like basically just put them together how we want them, then we should go over stuff with green stuff, add more detail. We're going to add some spikes and some overhangs and stuff on the actual jetpacks themselves, some kind of electrical wire, just to make them look more like a jetpack type of thing instead of just pieces of sprue that are just filed down. But at the end of the day, like, as long as it works within your army and within your needs and wants, that's fine, you know. This isn't supposed to be perfect. This is supposed to be something that you want to do. The rule of cool always applies and never fails. So like I said, just using their little bits boxes, if we have pieces organized, it's so easy to grab what you need when you have stuff like these. I recently got asked where did I get these, and I replied in a comment, but for anyone who hasn't seen that, I got these are basically medication pill boxes from Temu or any other type of, bang on the camera again, I'm so sorry. Basically it's just to keep medication in and keep track of stuff like that. Instead of paying a premium for bits organization boxes, you can just buy these for cheaper. You can get them in your local corner shops as well, pound shop, dollar shops, whatever you may say. And these are just a cheaper way and a better way of organizing your bits, corresponding into like factions or head types and stuff. It sounds a bit crazy, but it really helps. And as you see here, this is what I was using, just big bins like this, and I have a bunch of arms and stuff in, which I will gradually organize. Bang on the camera again. I am so sorry for this new with this new camera setup. Every little tap that I do on the table just reverberates up into the camera, so I might need to fix that somehow. So you can't really see there, but it's kind of a noise marine shoulder pad piece there. Correct me if I'm wrong with the terminology of what it's actually called. We'll just call it a shoulder pad because that's basically what it is. And then we're just sticking the gun back on here, or the rocket launcher, after sticking on a corn head. And then we stuck on a small little, I don't know if you've seen with all my rambling, we stuck on a small little scope, kind of like a sniper scope. And this is just to add more characteristics to the actual gun itself, along with a little magazine with basically it looked like bullets coming off of it. Although it mightn't be the correct gun for them, the ammo, this all just adds towards the rule of cool. It just makes the model look a little bit more unique and individuality, like to myself and my army. This is a model that no one else would have unless you guys try to replicate it. By all means, and post pictures and let me know how you get on. So just trying to get this second hand stuck here, or arm should I say. So basically what we have is an overkill Havoc Raptor. He's basically not got a jetpack on right now, but a jetpack, not peck. He's got a giant gun in one hand and then a rocket launcher in the other. And yes, he is carrying the rocket launcher one arm because why not? They're chaos and yeah, really cool. So sticking that Noise Marine shoulder pad on there just to bulk up the arm. And then next we'll try and stick on the jetpack itself, making sure that we angle these in such a way that it looks like they're giving him flight or motion, movement. And like I said in the beginning, these jetpacks are not the final product. We will later down the line, in more videos to come, we will add more detail to these jetpacks, giving them more pronounced kind of details and making them look more like a jetpack and less like pieces of spruce stuck to a backpack, if that makes sense. Getting the general shape or figure of a model you're trying to kitbash or create is the first step of actually creating that model. You can never really, especially with time frames like just timing and schedules and everything else, they're throwing the bits all over the place. KitbashCarnage, this is not Kitbash perfect. Keep on remembering. There is a bunch of carnage on this channel, and it's never going to end. So what I was saying is we will add more detail to all these projects later down the line in next videos. This is just to get the framework of what we want, and then we shall figure out what particular bits we want to add to give that detail and more pronounced kind of look to the model itself. So just sticking that corn head on the other figurine, and then we're going to use a bit of hot glue. And yes, you may say why. It's just the easy way to get this stuck on nice and fast. We use a bit of hot glue just to stick the wings on to where the backpack would be. And we're later, like I said, down the line, we should add more detail, hide our crimes. All this is just to get a base of what we want. Thank you very much for staying tuned, and I appreciate your comments.